I'm back. Today I bring you lights. Yes, lights. Because I've been Googling them and the cheapest I found is like $21. And I was like, So for this project, I have two sets of ping pong balls that I got from the dollar store, a set of LED lights, also from the dollar store. And you can use either Sharpies or paint and a Santa hat. It doesn't have to be a Santa hat. It could be like a skirt or like a boot or anything that you find for like $1 or less. So these are my failed attempts to draw it out by hand. I feel like some of them were really good, but I decided to try to make my life easier. I would go ahead and print out some Jack Skellington faces. Now I did naughty and nice. And I'm gonna use this template to maybe try to make my life easier. It did not really work out like that. It looked kind of like it did when I did them by hand, but I will tell you that they are a lot more even. Like I feel confident that, they're pretty similar in size. So I use this, and for this I used the Sharpie, and this is a thin Sharpie. If my Sharpie was new, I wouldn't need one because the tip is pretty fine. But since, they're like used and abused, I'm using both. If you don't have, you can buy a Sharpie at the dollar store too. So the whole project can be like less than $5. And I'm going to show you how I did both. You see, like the naughty face is a lot harder because the eyes have a lot of like grooves and a lot of movement, and I ripped up the template, but hey, it worked out. So I did all of them. I did give them all an outline, and then I just filled in with Sharpie. Once it completely dried, I went back and shook my Sharpie really well before doing a second coat. And I liked it because when I think of Tim Burton, I think of like, not graffiti, but like, like drawing with charcoal or graphite or, not perfect, like edges and, different tones of grays and darks. And so I believe that the Sharpie did give it that look. Now, I know my inner OCD will wake up one day and be like, I want it all to be even. And so what I did was I'm also showing you how to do this with paint. And with paint, it's fairly simple. And if you are a crafter, you probably already have paint, so you wouldn't have to buy it, and you'd just have to worry about the $4 for the ping pong balls, the hat, and the lights. I chose the dollar store LED lights because they're LED, and they're a 10 count, which is pretty much what the set that I see online has. It has like 10 lights, so I thought it was pretty good. The dollar store does have the plug-in lights, and that brings a 20 count. So if you want them to be more spaced out, you can do, one yes and one no and so on. And then you'll have a longer thread and you don't have to worry about batteries. So basically, I'm just showing you how I did both, and towards the end, you're gonna see the difference. See, this is with Sharpie, so it's pretty dark. So I was happy with it, and to me, it really was just a lot easier. Plus, it dries almost like immediately, while with paint, you'd have to wait. And for the naughty face, I'm gonna do like a little crooked smile, and you don't really have to put much effort because it pretty much just does it on its own. The ball just really helps glide your Sharpie, so I don't have to worry about it. And it doesn't have to be perfect because you're gonna draw the stitching anyway. So if you have like a little off line, you can usually just hide it with a stitch. And therefore, the nice face, I'm going to do just a regular smile. Hey, pretty good. So you see it right there, it has two coats, and the other one looked a lot darker, but I do like the fact that it's a little uneven. I think it looks very Tim Burton-ish. And you see, this smile did not come out perfect, but like I said, I hide the stitching in there. And I like a lot at this movie. I do like it a lot. I felt at first that it was a little weird, but the more that I saw it, the more that I grew into it. So now I'm gonna give him Santa hats, and for this I use a Santa hat that I bought at the dollar store. But like I said, it doesn't have to be a Santa hat. It could be a boot. It could be anything that has both the red and the white. And pretty much I'm gonna cut off triangles. And after the gingerbread squishy, I'm feeling pretty confident again. So I'm just eyeballing. You know, last time I was measuring stuff, and that's just not my style. It's not me. Plus, that's the plus of Tim Burton. It doesn't have to be perfect. So I'm gonna cut out 10 of these for each one of the lights that I did. And then with the white fabric, I'm just gonna cut out like little lines. See, this is more or less what it's gonna look like. And I like his hat to be tall because I do remember that in the movie it looks pretty uneven. He looks like it's outside of place, and that's what I wanted to recreate. There. And I'm gonna use hot glue to glue everything together. Now, it doesn't have to be hot glue. I'm the kind of person that I'm probably gonna take these out since like Halloween, and because it's fitting, you know, it's kind of fits both seasons, but or holidays. But you can also do this, you know, with double-sided tape and just put it on and take them off. But I am going to use hot glue because that's the easiest thing. And also, as a crafter, I feel like it's one of the staple items that everybody kind of has. So I add some to the crown, and I first stuck the red hat on it. This was trial and error. I was pretty much trying to see what was the easiest. And I did find that the easiest thing is to glue the hat all together first and then just put it on his little head. I'm so clumsy. All right. And there it is. See, oh, he looks so good. I'm so pumped. And at first I wanted to use that same white material to just cut out like little circles, but I found pom-poms that I've had for like 2 years and still haven't used them. And so I thought I'd give them some use. Now, to make the hole to fit the light in, I can use either scissors and just puncture it, or kind of use the hot glue gun to melt it down a little bit. And it took a little bit longer than I thought, but you can see that it goes right in there. Be careful when you're using a hot glue gun because they burn. So if you're a kid and you're clumsy, or a kid or clumsy, then you should probably have an adult do this. Or teach you. That's how I learned. I asked somebody to teach me how to use it carefully. And this is a victory right here. I know I'm going to love the outcome. And there it goes. And you just push the light in, and there it is. Now, the only thing I can say is that there's not too much spacing between each other, which is why I was saying that, you know, the dollar store has lights that bring a 20 count, and you plug those in. I like the battery operated just because I feel like I could put it anywhere. And I did a combination of naughty and nice. And I'm gonna keep that going throughout the whole thing. Now, the hats don't have to be perfect. Nothing has to be perfect. Okay, let's just be real here. But you can always modify them once they're on. See, I thought this one was hairy, and I was like, you know what? Let me show them that even after it's on, you can kind of trim it down and adjust something that you don't like. You know, it's not like, oh, once you glue it, you're done. Basically, you can still continue to struggle with them like I did. I kept like pulling the little hairs, and then like there was fluff everywhere, but I got them to where I wanted them. And see, for me, the easiest thing was to melt down the little dots with the glue gun. And look, There they are. And they're on my tree there. These, you can pretty much tell which ones I painted and which ones I did with Sharpie because the ones with paint are a lot darker. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see more DIYs like this.